Running some tests on my SSHD. Oh, sorry, SSD. Sorry, what am I saying SSHD? I'm thinking wrong component. I've been running some tests on my SSD. So far, so good. No big issues. Most of it's been working pretty well. I also put an unboxing video up, which I did a while back, which I just edited about, probably sometime this morning anyway. So yeah, I was coming across a few things. As I said, I always come across interesting stuff when I'm doing a lot of stuff online. And it's interesting the things you do find online, because sometimes you'll find some interesting stuff and some rather perplexing stuff as well, and stupid stuff. Fuck. Damn it. Work! Oh my god, lag. It's a little laggy. It's sort of weird, I don't know, sometimes this program is great, sometimes it works fantastic, other times it's just a pain in the ass the way its response time is an absolute pain in the butt. Clock. Transition speed. I'm going to set that to 50, just because I reckon it'll be a better transition time. Just, you know, for the hell of it. Let's try that. It's good. Okay. So yeah, let's go back to that. Sorry, that was pissing me off. So that this is an article. Now it's not actually an article. It's fake. What it actually is, in a brilliant way, is advertising for a online casino. Now, I caught it because it wouldn't... I caught it initially because I couldn't actually load it up when I tried to click it, because I was just curious. It looked interesting, and the stock standard picture that you see there has actually been used many times online, especially these days. That guy literally must have a, I don't know... Well, put it this way, it's a stock standard picture. I've seen that guy before in plenty of pictures. So, let's look at it from this perspective. It's pretty fake. It's basically an online casino, which I don't condone gambling. I think it does a lot more damage than it does a lot more damage to people than it fixes, to be honest. And I never will really condone gambling because I'm not a big gambler. And I guess some people want to do that, but I think some people have addiction issues with gambling. So this, as you can see, a lot of the read through this article pretty much, it's got a bunch of stuff in it. It's also said Vancouver, which is a place in Canada. Anybody who's reading this article who's not an idiot would know that. Firstly, there's that part, and it says that it's based in Australia, which there's no place in Australia called Vancouver. I mean, as far as I'm aware, and I mean, I've been here for years, so on top of that, as I said, Vancouver, Canada, people, seriously. The other side of it too is it says Australia, and Australia is not spelt correctly. That's one part of there's a few missing letters in it as well. So we're talking about prisons, and then it talks about person winning a jackpot and money. And basically then it talks about a $5,000 welcome bonus to... like this is my point is, it's basically an online casino. And it's a lot of fucking money. I mean, there's a lot of bonus they give you, but I mean, to be honest, it depends. I don't think you can actually draw that money out straight away. So yeah, fake news, because the truth is, it is completely fake. I don't know, this website looks Australian News Today. I don't know whether that's actually a legitimate URL, to be honest. But yeah, no, I looked at it and I kind of, it kind of made me scratch my head the way it was going on about different things. Just talking about the fact that this would, talking about sneaking your cell phones into a jail. So I mean, look, the truth is, anybody who knows the criminal element, you can always sneak a phone into prison. You just normally have to bribe a guard or something like that. But see, the other side of it too is, I'm looking at it, it's just like, this is as fake as fuck, and they're just trying to get people to gamble. That's pretty much what it's designed to do. It's designed to get people to gamble. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, okay, it's an advertisement. Like, I mean, what they're trying to do is they're basically trying to fool people into thinking it's an actual real story, when in actual fact it's probably just bullshit, and it's probably just somebody making up some random crap. And, fucking stupid, but true, but just, I looked at that bullshit, I'm like, what the fuck, man, seriously, what the fuck's wrong with some of these people? Well, I don't know, what the hell's wrong with the person who designed the advertisement? I'm like, well, okay. Firstly, you didn't spell a few things wrong. You totally got the place wrong in question, and I mean, you were just, I don't know, just, to me, it's all, this entire story is just a made-up bullshit. It's been pretty much designed to get you into gambling. And, that just shows you how devious some advertisers can be. So I'm going to close that anyway, but that's just a good example, and this is what it looks like on here. Um, it's a sponsored page on Facebook, as you can see. That became most of the issue for me. Is like, that's a sponsored page on Facebook. I mean, if it's a sponsored page or something like that, that clearly shows that they're okay. Firstly, they're condoning gambling. I don't have an issue with somebody gambling, but the other side of it too is there's other people, you know, who have gambling addiction issues. So, you know, targeting somebody in that spot. Well, I mean, at the end of it, it's a suggested post. According to this, it's a suggested post. And the truth is, I've never gambled in my entire fucking life, so I don't know why they're suggesting it to me. But yeah, this does crack me up, and there's probably a couple of comments that are funny as well. Exactly, because I read through that, I'm like, what the fuck? Now, the weird part is, if you actually click this advertisement and try to load it on Chrome, it doesn't load. So even Chrome knows that it's bullshit. That's ironic, but yeah. And then you got a bunch. Then you have a bunch of people making comments on it as well. And I'm like, what the fuck? Caution, bullshit website. It just cracked me up. I'm like, what the fuck? It really does crack me up, some of the stupid shit that some of these advertising companies go to. I mean, at the end of it, I know it's a bullshit website. I know it's all bullshit. And you know, the other side of it too is that they're simply trying to get advertising. They're trying to advertise their product. I get that, but Jesus Christ, you can advertise your product without, you know, fucking giving people some bullshit story. But yeah, that's what the fuck. Like, seriously, I'm like, please try harder next time. You know, actually research. If you're gonna bullshit people, at least make it close to the truth, so it's a believable story. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, what the hell, man? You know, like, smoke another pipe or something, man. Seriously. So yeah, that's something I came across today. That's always funny. I mean, there's stuff that I get that it's trolling or whatever, and I get that people are just being smartasses. But, like I said, some people make me scratch my head. Yeah, I do. Anyway, I do like Review Tech USA, by the way. They're a pretty good channel, including there's a lot of they're bigger YouTubers than I am. There's a lot of bigger YouTubers I like, which is Jay's 2 Cents, Barnacules, which, you know, as I said, he formerly worked for Microsoft, and he knows exactly what some of the bullshit that Microsoft put through in certain situations. Who else is there? There's a bunch of other guys as well. There's Joker Productions, as they call it. So yeah. What's we got here? Some other stuff anyway. Let me just go back to that, and just want to make sure that's working. Pause. There we go. That's smaller anyway. Okay, so there we go. That's good. Good. Alright. Ugh. But yeah, no. I mean, that's my point. Like, some of that random ass stuff that I come across is just amazing. That's just one of the examples of some of the random shit that I get across my inbox. Not just across my inbox, but across my Facebook included. I'm assuming these are targeted advertisements. Sometimes their targeted advertisements are so fucking far off with what you want or what you need or whatever that it just surprises me how inaccurate it is. And like I said, you know, I guess that's the other side of it too. If your behaviour is predictable, you know, most likely advertising algorithms are going to pick up on people. It's going to pick up on you. It's going to pick up on you easily. But if you're a random person like I am, at the end, and I mean that's the entire truth. If you're a random person like I am, that it's just going to fucking go, what the fuck? I can't work you out, man. Pretty much. So there's other ones anyway. So it's alright. So I got that there. What else have I got? But yeah, that's just some of the stuff as I don't come across it all the time. But I have been running some tests. I've been mucking around with my just gonna switch. Actually, I'll switch that back. Yeah. Actually, no. I'll switch that back to there, and I'm just gonna open up. So I have been running some random tests. I have still have my other SSD plugged in. I formatted it. Got some data off there. It's now empty, as you can see. That's my old SSD, which I formatted. And, I mean, at the moment, it's still working, so I don't know what I'm going to be doing with that at this point. I mean, I can't really... I mean, it did say the drive was failing, so I'm going by what it says about the drive, the fact that the drive was failing. Well, sorry, the diagnostic program in question that I did all the testing on. As I said, I've done a couple of different programs. Now, the other thing too, as I said, I don't know, I've got a bunch of different programs that I use for diagnostics, but I did a couple of speed tests and everything else and things like that, and I also, I mean, I don't know, I did a couple of speed tests. Speed tests were pretty good for this drive. I'm pretty impressed with them so far. I use Crystal, as you see, Crystal Mark, or Crystal Disk Mark, and of course I use Crystal Disk Info, which is a good program as well. And there is another one which I use as HD Tune Pro, which is another fantastic little utility as well. Those are just standard editions, nothing that I've paid for or anything like that. But that one I did actually pay for. I paid for it a while back. It's got a bunch of different health stuff on it. Tells you different read and write cycles, temperature factors. You can also get checked for errors and things like that. At the moment, it's on my main drive there. And health factor. See, this is the thing. It doesn't actually give a health factor in that one. Let me see here. That's the one. This is 100% good, but see, this is the sort of thing. I know for a fact that it supposedly had reached a threshold with its read and writes and stuff like that. So, I mean, you know, look at the end of it. Maybe I'll end up using that drive for something else. I'll keep it on a little bit longer, and maybe I'll put it somewhere. I might end up putting it inside my computer and see how long it lasts. I might even use it as a spare sort of drive for some other reason. If I'm going to put it inside my computer or anything of that nature, I don't know where I'm going to put it at this point. So, I don't know, it says good there. It says health status good, so it's sort of like, what the fuck, you know? But that's not a problem. I mean, at the end of it, I saw that a lot of the thresholds had been reached on the program that I was using before. And I saw, you know, fuck it, it gives me an excuse to upgrade it anyway, so I'm not going to grow up too much. As I say, got the Crucial. I have noticed, though, that my data loss and everything else and a lot of the other stuff I've been doing, not just generally, but the drive, this new drive has been a lot snappier, a lot faster, a lot more responsive. I'm generally finding the read and write speeds are pretty good, too. In amongst other things I've been doing, you know, whether it's, benchmarking is benchmarking, obviously. But in amongst that as well, I've been, you know, doing my streaming and stuff, and some things have been more responsive than they used to be. I mean, that's the honest truth. Actually, a lot more things have been responsive. Some things have actually been more responsive in the sense of, you know, opening them up straight away and getting what you want out of something. Whether it's just having an app open straight away and not having an issue with it dying. Saying that, I think my OS could probably use... why did I say San Diego? Is it not auto-detecting where I am? That's weird. Refresh. There we no. I swear I turned my VPN off. No, I know I turned my VPN off because I'm disconnected. Why the hell is it telling me I'm in San Diego when I'm not? That's very interesting. Curious. Okay then. Let me just run a quick speed test. That's fucking retarded because I know I disconnected my VPN and I know for a fact it's disconnected. Yeah, it is. So why the fuck? Yeah, okay. Apparently Windows 10 is being a retard, but you know, that's typical of Windows 10 and some of the issues that Windows 10 crops up with from time to time. So let's go San Diego. Son of a bitch. San Diego! Oh, why are you telling me I'm in San Diego when I'm fucking not? Go fucking suck a dick. So, please explain that shit to me. Yep, that makes a hell of a lot of sense. Should automatically pick up my... It says to always detect my location. Jesus, really? I might just switch that to my default location, and I might just put it in there anyway, because sometimes auto-detect can be a fucking dumbass, unfortunately. I'm just going to tag my location, keep it on Fahrenheit and everything else, and we should be fucking good. Right, so there we go, that's more like it. Canberra, ACT, partly 16, because of the temperature. Fuck. Anyway, sorry. But anyway, no. Well, the point is, anyway, I've noticed things have been more snappier. Generally, things have been more responsive, more snappier, depending on what I'm doing, of course. Aside from that, I don't know, VPN. I don't know. Certain things work well, certain things don't. I've reinstalled a few things, obviously, in between that because I know for a while I was having some error issues on and off with my SSD, and you know it was causing a few problems here and there. I still am having some general issues with my, for example, most of my icons do show up in the corner of the taskbar. That's not the issue. But I have had a few icons that don't show up in the corner of the taskbar, unfortunately. So that's just, you know, it's just part of that happening sometimes, I guess. Also did that unboxing video today as well. As you can see, everything seems to be humming along pretty nicely. The only thing that I might do, and I don't know, I mean, I can't decide whether I'm going to bite the bullet and just completely do a fresh reinstall of Windows. I'm most likely going to create an ISO straight off the Windows website. In between, fucking hate AdBlock Plus. I'm sorry, I don't hate it. I love it. It's kind of annoying because if this is my fucking point, if you don't put fucking AdBlock Plus on, say for example, a speed test, it fucking shits itself. It literally does. It like you know you've got a ton of fucking advertisements on your fucking page, and like just the amount of pop-ups and shit is ridiculous. You know, like the hell. Now the truth is, I do turn off AdBlock Plus for YouTube. That's something that I do personally. It's actually not bad for my internet speed this morning. Typically, it's around that. It's actually sometimes, most of the time, it's high. It's about 94. So was it 92? 93. Okay, that's actually not bad. What it end up being 93.64, and normally my upload ends up being about 37 at maximum. It's a little bit lower now at the moment though. It's kind of curious. It's actually a little bit lower than it should be because I normally get 40. It's supposed to be 100 up, 100 down, and 40 up. So sometimes it can be really, really good, and I get a really, really good speed. Doesn't matter whether it's upload or download. Actually, that would make sense. 28 would make sense because I am streaming at the moment, so that's probably most likely what that's related to. But yeah, that's interesting. Kind of curious. I'm just gonna like that because I do, because I like it. I like it so much. Let's see. Between that, fuck, I don't know. As I said, sometimes it's a little bit annoying. It's a little bit annoying with some things. Like, I do know there's Windows errors going on. I'd say most likely they're related to little issues that I've had on and off with just probably because basically I probably need to do a fresh reinstall of Windows, and that's probably really what needs to happen at this point. I don't. Yeah, that's probably the best way of putting it. That's most likely what needs to happen. I need to do a fresh reinstall of everything and make sure it's all freshly done. At this point, of course, but it's sort of a toss-up. I'll see how it goes. I'll see which direction I go with it. I'm trying to work out whether I'm going to do that or whether I'm not. And at this point, it's a toss and a turn thing whether I will end up doing a reinstall of my operating system. So I don't know. I'll work it out anyway. Not a big issue at this point, though. I don't know. I think at this point I'm just gonna chillax for the day. I'll probably just try and chillax. I guess I'm just gonna try and relax. It's not a bad day though. Pretty nice day outside. Weather's pretty gnarly. I didn't want to group. I was shoved to the other one. Fuck off, fly. Fucking flies. I hate the cunts. Fuck off. Fuck off, dickhead. And to be honest, like, what the fuck? As I said, I don't know. I don't. Fuck off. I don't get. It's the weird part. You don't get flies all the time, and it is winter now, so we shouldn't really have that many flies around at this point in time. So, not an issue anyway. Anyway, so that's alright. Let's check my followers on Twitter. What the fuck do you want? Between that, I don't know. I'll see how I go. Let's see. Manage ads. What's those anyway? Oh, just other ads that I've got on there anyway. So how has my drive been going? Pretty well so far. I've got no big complaints. It's been working reasonably well. I've had pretty much a good experience with it so far. My VPN's been a lot of stuff has been generally a lot of my software has been working better, more faster, better response times, things like that. Obviously, a reinstall would probably help that more. I like just get it up that response time up a bit more. But generally, no, it's been pretty good. I've been pretty happy with the drive. The drive quality, in the sense of how well it's working so far, I haven't had any major issues. I haven't had any major problems where it's frozen or anything like that. I've had a couple of lag issues, but that's just related to probably the amount of apps that I run in the background sometimes. And I've only ever had a couple of lag issues with certain apps that I've been running. And to be honest, I mean, if I turn certain things off on my streaming and stuff, that probably would most likely fix the issue. So, you know, at the end of it, that's just down to me and my personal preference, of course. That's my other stuff, but anyway, yeah, not too bad at all. No complaints. In between that, as you can see, I've got my IP address, or my stuff anyway. It's that there, which I'll turn that off anyway. Don't need that. But I have noticed a better response out of my computer. Generally, my boot times are much faster now. I do know for a fact, comparing the difference between my two drives. Oh, that's better. Comparing the difference between the two drives, which this is an MX 300 drive, 525 gigabytes, between my Samsung Evo drive, which is the actual drive that I've got in there. Just find that crystal disk info. We'll get that back up on screen as well. Compared to between the two, which my original drive. So let me see. We can do a comparison between the two. So let's see my new drive, which is this one. Oops, wrong one. It's this one. Yeah, this one right here, which is the Crucial, of course. It's the MX300, which. If you actually look up the specs on the MX300 online, in comparison to the Evo, of course, MX300, right, speeds, let's see, speeds, so we'll just do a comparison of the speeds. Crucial reports transfer speeds of 530 megabytes to read and write speeds of 510 megabytes. So, I mean, to be honest, I will say it's a lot higher than my old drive, because if you look at the Samsung, actually, versus the Samsung 840 Evo, I'll do a comparison. We'll just do a comparison from somebody else's user benchmarks anyway. So, let's see. Statistically, though, let's see. So let's see. Clearly, obviously that's a smaller drive, but clearly you can see that it is ahead by a few points, which is 65, of course, as you can see on this index. So as I said, it does have a much better read speed than my new drive does have a lot better read speed in general. The memory, I believe, I mean, as I said, the memory that's being used in my old Samsung drive is probably obviously older. So, being older, you know, it's generally being older. It's obviously not going to be as fast. It's not going to be as snappy. But I did notice the difference when I changed between the two of them. Generally, with different things I was doing online. What do you mean? So I will say this is worth the money. I did buy a 525 gigabyte version of this. It was either a toss up between a 525 gigabyte version or a 500 gigabyte version. So I'm gonna say the 525 gigabyte version isn't actually that bad. Well, sorry, the 500. Well, any factor is. It's actually not a bad brand. I've got no complaints so far in the sense that it's a lot more responsive. I'm finding the error correction stuff is a little better in certain areas because I'm finding I'm not getting as many errors. But that could be, as I said, it could be the fact that other drive that I've got right here is obviously and most likely on its way out. But the other side of it too, as I said, it's sort of got me scratching my head because if you go to the actual drive here, it says good. But if I go to, you know, if I know if I plug this into the computer, it says that it's reached its supposed threshold. So, at the end of it, you know, I might keep this drive around just for now and see how it goes, you know, just to see if it lasts a bit longer. As I said, it wasn't dying when it wasn't completely dying. The thing that I did notice, though, is that, and this could have been simply because error stuff on, or could have been corruption in Windows itself, is that occasionally the drive was having issues when I restarted the computer one day and it came up with it had to run a disk repair basically. So that's the only other thing that I noticed, or it was a symptom of it anyway. As I said, I mean the drive looks okay on the surface. Could, as I said, simply be the fact that let's see, power on hours. It gives you a lot of other stuff too. I mean, there's another factor too. I've probably used this drive, like, I mean, if you look at all the counts, like the actual counts and everything else on it. I mean, you've got to consider I've probably had the drive for 5 or 6 years, so, you know. So reallocated, you know, circuits and everything else. I mean, all the other stuff as well. The actual counts, erase fail counts. You know, it's basically, I think, most things are, well, not maxed out, but, like, they're pretty close to their maximum, you know. Some things, as you can see, they've reached their threshold. So, I mean, it could be the fact that it's almost reached its threshold in certain areas. Obviously, as I said, the new drive is, you know, yet to probably reach, well, not reach, you know, reach most, I don't know, well, probably not, there's no point in the thresholds, of course. As you can see, most of the stuff hasn't been reached, but, no, it's all pretty good. But we'll see how it goes, anyway, as I said, well, I don't know, and the other side of it too is, if you look at the drive's hours, see, you can see the logged hours on the, well, logged power on hours, you know, pretty much 23,980 hours, the total power-ons that drive has had, you know. You got to take that into account, and this is power on hours, power on counts. As you can see, the amount of times that I powered it on and off in a given situation, which isn't a massive amount, but if you look at that, that is a lot of hours. And I said I've had it for like 5 or 6 years, so you got to consider that I keep my computer on pretty regularly, so I rarely turn it off. I might reboot it from time to time, but I rarely do actually turn it off in most cases. So yeah, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see which direction it goes. Oh, but yeah, that's pretty much how I'm feeling about that at this point. Samsung SSD 840, so we'll see how that goes and we'll see which direction it goes. As you can see, 500 gigabytes. What's that? So, I don't know. At this point, we'll see which direction it heads and how well it performs. I mean, I've only had it about... How long have I had it? Well, not even a few days. I ended up getting it on either Friday or Thursday, so what's today? Today's Saturday. So I think I got it Thursday, so I've only had it about 2 or 3 days. So we'll see what the long-term performance is like, and we'll see how well it performs, if the performance degrades or if anything of that nature happens. I also have the software that came with it, or the software you can download that keeps the system up to date and also keeps the firmware up to date, which is always an advisable thing with an SSD. is to keep your firmware up to date. Always, that's the best thing you can do is keep your firmware up to date. If you don't, you're just stupid not to do that, to be honest. But yeah, no, all good. Leave it there anyway, close that for now. Go along that. But no, that's all good. We'll see how we go. So I might play a couple of games for a bit. In the meantime, let's check some more stuff. This is my Facebook. So I might play a couple of games for a little while. It is just well, it's not really a lazy day. It's just a relaxing day, really. I'm not doing a massive amount. Took the dog for a walk yesterday, which was good. Always fun. In the meantime, we'll see how well the computer performs. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to close that for the moment. Switch my screen over, which will always be a plus. There we go. I'm going to open up. See. Crack open that game most likely. Now the weird part is, I think I played this game for a while and actually didn't. The screen issue just, you know that screen issue I was having in the game before, where it was basically sidling off to the side or having to lock it to the main screen, which I don't know whether it's going to be an issue anymore or not. I'm sort of curious of that, whether it will be. We'll see. So that's actually curious. We'll just see. It's pretty good. Let me just minimize this for a second. Minimize, and I'm going to go back into my, let's see what the stream looks like. Is it going to lag, or what is it going to do? Curious whether it will actually lag or not. I'm curiouser and curiouser. I probably want to actually see what it looks like on my phone, to be honest. Something I might do. Just see what it looks like on my phone. Let's see. Okay, we'll just exit out of that for now. Descriptions for I just want to see what it actually looks like, if it's going to die or not.
The fact that I'm even making my bills off of playing video games is something I would have never expected to be able to do. Streaming is very CPU intensive. So having very strong CPU means that you're going to get a higher quality stream, which is better for your viewers.
Great.
The CPUs that I use are Intel i7.
Okay, there we go. Right, so we'll see how that goes. Just want to test and see how well it works. Okay. See, normal, easy. So you can hear that. Hold on, I'm just going to turn it down a bit. So you turn that down. Just want to see how well it plays, or how well it looks on my mobile. It's always a good indicator if the stream's going to be good or not, or whether it's going to be shithouse or not. Which so far, no complaints. It actually looks pretty good on my phone. Doesn't look laggy, which is a plus side. And my frame rate's pretty good too, so no complaints too much there. Yeah, wow, okay, that's actually pretty good, because I have had issues in the past when I've been playing games and streaming at the same time, but I've got a lot of lag to deal with. It seems certain, well, like just playing games generally, lag was a big issue. Get out of my way, prick. Yeah, okay, that looks fantastic. Wow, okay. I'm pretty impressed with that. It's not loading on my computer, but that's because it's going for the same computer that I'm streaming on, so I understand why that's happening. Like, when I load it up on my mobile, it looks okay, so... So I am glad that I replaced that SSD at this point. Generally because my gaming experience is a lot more smoother than it used to be. Was a frustrating issue trying to game. Fuck you, cunt. You cockhead bastard. It's sort of weird though, so my frame rate's dipped a bit. It's not too bad, but... it's still pretty smooth though. It's still pretty smooth. I mean, it's going up and down, but it's still pretty smooth. I did have issues when my frame rate would... I've had a lot... before, when I was streaming and doing a lot of streaming, my issues would crop up a lot of the times when I the smooth, like the smoothest level when I was gaming was pretty shithouse, which I found that a bit of an issue before, but it doesn't seem to be as much of an issue now, so that's a plus side. The only thing I could probably do is reinstall my video driver, maybe. That might help the situation, and it might actually fix some of the little lag issues that I have with certain things I'm doing, so... As I said, I know my other hard drives are okay. The SSHD that I'm using for my games is fine. It was mainly my OS that was probably causing most of my, a certain degree of my lag issues anyway. Well, I'd say a percentage of the time that was what was my OS. I will say though, I think something that I'm going to have to do is reinstall my computer, like actually do a reinstall of my system completely, at some point. Yeah, that looks marvelous actually. Oh, and there it goes. Oh, you asshole! You made a liar out of me. Because it actually stopped doing the thing that... Oh, that's fucking retarded. Okay. Well, asshole. You did the thing that I... Yeah, it's probably going to need a reinstall. Yep. I actually have no doubt of that, actually. So what I might do... I'm going to X out of this for a second. And I'll go back to it. Okay, that's interesting. It made a liar out of me because that issue had vanished for a while. Okay, so it's back again. Fucking... I don't know, to be honest, I think it's just needing... I'm gonna need to reinstall the OS anyway. It's probably most likely that's gonna happen. We'll have to do an entire reinstall of everything, and that's probably gonna be... Yeah, it's probably the only way I'm gonna fix stuff. So, yeah. I don't see myself being able to avoid it at this point in time. Having to do a complete reinstall of my operating system. I mean, I could trace down individual software issues, but Jesus. Probably the amount... Oh, what am I doing? Okay, go back. Probably gonna have to... Yeah. Actually, I'm putting them on there. Left hole. There we go. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to actually do a full reinstall. Yep, that's just, I can't, it's probably going to be totally unavoidable, and I'm not going to be able to do much about it up until I do that, so, yep, sad but true, people, sad but true. Alright, so that's all right. I gotta say though, my gameplay's a lot smoother now than it was, because I was having some initial lag issues whenever I tried to play ooh, excuse me, any type of game on my main, like on my system before with my old SSD, so obviously my old SSD did have some issues. you know, not as much as I guess certain SSDs. But well, put it this way, it was old. I mean, it was an older drive, so what do I expect? What do I expect? I expect truth, justice, and the American asshole. I don't know, my system though, I mean, considering its age, I mean, it is relatively old. You know, like, I mean... But considering the age of it, it does run pretty damn well. Even with some of the latest games and some of the newer stuff, it does run pretty well so far. I processed. It was pretty good though. I did a video before, or an unboxing video, and it processed it pretty well when I was doing the video edit. Well, you know, using my video editor and everything else. I was just processing it back through and adding tiles and stuff to it. So it actually worked pretty damn well. But fuck. Chucked the fucking everything at me, including the fucking kitchen sink, cunt. Thank you very fucking much. Wow. Yeah, them on. Yeah, no, they are. Yeah, yeah. Yep, they are my track. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're my track pants. Fuck. Okay, that's alright. Okay, what else we got here? Pretty good though. Alright. Yeah, the problem is I can't see any shit on my... Oh no, actually that's not the top. Well... Okay. That's the only issue. I can't see if anybody types on my chat. That's the only issue, I guess, but... Eesh. Oh. Probably tested if my chat was working beforehand. I'll just X out of this for a second and get back to that. Checking my chat is actually working. Okay. Just hit the refresh button. Some more chats. It's frozen as well. Always happens though, but I mean, whenever I'm running the chats as I'm directly at the screen anyway, it always does that. But I know if I pull up my main system tab, which sorry, not my tab, my main streaming tab, or my main streaming program, it will show if there's anything being typed on screen. So what I might do is I'll just check. So testing, and then I'll do the other one. Testing. Let's make sure it's all working. Right, yeah, that seems to be functional. Yep. Okay, that seems to be functional. Perfect. Itchy fucking nose. The other thing I might do, just quickly. The other thing I wanted to test. GTA 5. Need some more water. I'll be right back. Oh, shit. Fuck's sake, really? Ah, fucking hell. Kiss my fucking ass. Prick. Okay, so I'm gonna have to reinstall my fucking video driver. That's pretty fucking clear. Jesus fucking Christ. Yep, I don't see. Okay, so fuck it. I'm gonna reinstall my video driver because there's clearly some fucking issues going on with my video driver. I think it's probably because my video driver hasn't been... I haven't done anything with it lately, so... Yeah, okay. I will be back shortly. And see if I can fix some of these... Because that... Firstly, that game has never crashed before, so... I'm pretty sure this is my video driver. Every time I reinstall my video driver, everything always gets fixed first up, so yeah. I will be back shortly. Thank you very much.